Hiya, friends! I'm back with SunnyAnn and Serendipity, and we are going to conclude our Balboa Park build for you today. So we are back at our amazing build site. Just a quick little tour to remind you what we did last time. So this video is going to be a lot of tweaking stuff. Tweaking the way the fronts of the buildings look, tweaking the sidewalks, and adding different kind of finishing touches, I guess. Okay, that's true for Sarah and Sunny. I end up moving quite a bit of the front of my building. I wasn't loving the way it looked. I didn't like the way everything was constricted. Is that the word I'm looking for? Everything felt really kind of tight and condensed, and I wanted to have a more open feel. So I play a lot with that. Also, the decorations I have wasn't in love with. There was a lot of stuff that was like, it's fine, but again, not in love with it. So there's a lot of tweaking going on. And as I stated before, there's a lot of me running around, making changes. You know, you sit with something long enough, and like here I realized the front of this didn't match. I had a 4-wide sidewalk where everything else was 2 wide, so obviously it needed to be changed. There's another spot where I decide, you know what, this tree is too darn close to the building. Maybe we should just move it over. At least it wasn't an entire building this time. The pathway didn't match kind of the rest of the theme of the build. If you go over to Sunny and Sarah's area, they both had this kind of alternating path going on. So again, it was obvious that I needed to change it to kind of pull the whole thing together. Thankfully, Sunny and Sarah were basically done with theirs. So I got a lot of help from them doing my quote unquote finishing touches. There was a lot of touches to be had, and thank God for those two. Don't ask why I'm running around with a chainsaw. Just one of those things. And I forgot to mention, if you watch all the way to the end, you'll get a tiny glimpse of the fun we had during this build. Quick side note here. I got a little bit discouraged, so I went on a walkabout to go visit the other areas to get inspiration. And again, that's when I realized I wanted my area to tie in better with the rest of it. So to match the path on the other side and throughout the rest of the area, I went ahead and did this every other design. Also, I really like the contrast. I thought that was an amazing addition to this build. I do like how it opened up with the trees on either side. That made me very happy. This glitch kept happening, so I left it in here because it cracked me up. It looked like I died. I don't know what happened, and then I like woke up in a whole different part of the map sometimes when that happened. There were lots of weird glitches. There was a lot going on this island, and it didn't know how to handle it. Did I mention there was a lot of tweaking going on? A lot of adjusting? And I'm not even kidding. I don't know that Sarah and Sunny went through this whole thing too. Obviously I was in my own zone over here, but it happened a lot for me. This is me trying to figure out what to do with this giant side yard that I had been given. Sarah was kind enough to place full-grown palm trees for me so that I could get in my head what it was going to look like. I'll be honest, I had no idea what I was going to do. I had a loose idea that I wanted some kind of a picnic area because outside of the museum, they have a lot of those because there are field trips and such. There's a lot of families there. So I wanted to make it somewhere where you could buy food, you could buy souvenirs, and that there were tables and seating for people to come and enjoy if they had brought their own snacks, if they were buying snacks at the little shacks here. But that was my idea. And that the little truck back there was my way of doing like a food truck. I mean, use your imagination. It's not exact. But in my head, okay, the food truck, and then they have a little a little stand that they put outside their truck for their wares, right? Use your imagination. While I was trying to do this side yard, Sunny kept insisting that it doesn't all have to be even. It doesn't all have to be symmetrical. Sorry, Sunny. I made everything even, Steven, and symmetrical. My brain will not allow me not to do that. More tweaking of the walkways. Again, I just wanted it to kind of bring in that path from other places in the build so that it looked like we were one unified area rather than 3 separate builds. Sneak peek here, the bathroom area that Sunny was making. Well, it looks like Sarah's there too. I know Sunny is very proud of her toilets. She is the queen of the bathrooms, self-appointed, but they turned out amazing. I can't wait until you see everything, but those also have some final tweaks before they are ready to show off. But even there, they look amazing. So this side area, again, is mine to do with as I saw fit, and I had no idea what I wanted to do. So thankfully, Sunny had shown us pictures of a garden at Balboa Park that had rows of gardens. And I thought, oh, this perfect space for that. So I took it upon myself to start making these troughs to put flowers in, and you can see how the phantom flowers show up in the boxes. It's a glitch. So I was very confused, like, can I pick them up, or can I cut down those flowers? Can I pick them up? It was the glitches confused me. But Sarah and Sunny were very helpful. And of course, Sunny is the flower plant gal, and she comes in later to save the day. Now we've got the inside of the museum. I mean, this went through some transformations. It turned out amazing. And again, I can't wait for you to see the end result. But there was a lot of iterations of the museum. Starting with what was on the floor, what was around the edges, how close it was around the edges. It was fun to see how it changed as Sarah and Sunny and I talked about it, it's actually quite exciting. Just what was in my head to start with and how it ended up, which was a million times better, of course. So in case you're not catching on, I struggled. I struggled with the inside of this museum. And I already admitted that I felt just less than the whole time. So I felt a great responsibility to have this thing just looking as good as I could. And I put a lot of pressure on myself. And you'll see, it was a joint venture. The other ladies come along to save me. But I don't even know what they were doing at this point. I was so stressed about getting this museum, right. Not that there's a right way to do it. That pressure was pressure I put on myself. I'll tell you that. Sarah and Sunny were completely supportive. And I would have thrown in the towel long ago had they not been there with me. Just a little glimpse here of this beautiful garden that Sunny and Sarah completed for me. Beautiful. I still am not exactly sure what flowers are there and which aren't. We were seeing double. When you watch Sarah's, you'll see what's actually there, though these double flowers are beautiful. I wish we could do that in the game. Oh yes. Then we have our mine excursion. We needed emeralds for the museum, obviously. So we decided we'd go into the deep mines. Sunny does not like the deep mines, just by the way. We were all a little anxious. But look what happens. We get out, and straight away, we find emeralds within the first 2 minutes. Oh, thank you for that. Oh, and here's my OCD shining through. Oh, good grief. Okay, so next to the beautiful restrooms, Sunny and Sarah had made this entire parking lot. Apparently, this is what they were doing when I was struggling with the inside of the museum. They made restrooms and a parking lot. So, thank God that they were so far ahead of me because a lot got done. But the glitches, they were funny. But we had fun with this, with the utes and the motorcycles. And I do want to say I really appreciate the fact that the restrooms are right next to the parking lot, as it should be. It takes a long ride to get to the museum, and you need restrooms when you get out of your car. That's all I'm saying. Getting a quick little preview of the restrooms. I'm not even sure if that's the final iteration of the restrooms or not. We'll see in just a couple minutes. They're looking good. Looking good. Sarah's little patio. I had to take a quick glimpse to see what she had done in the back there. We'll see more in a minute when we do the walkthrough. Ugh, I'm so excited. It turned out so great. So this is when, thankfully, the ladies came to intervene. We were doing final touches on the area, and I'm like, ladies, I need help in this museum. I can't get it to look like what's in my head. So we had a whole brain trust up here doing their thing. You can see Sunny's in the background supervising. I assume that's what she's doing. Just waiting for inspiration to approach, and then by golly, it did. I'm pretty sure the final design was Sunny's. So thank goodness she had that time to sit and think about it, because it turned out amazing. Oh, and there I am dying again. This made me laugh so hard. I would pick something up and I would die and I would end up in the garden. I guess it's circle of life. Again, finishing touches. Making sure everything's in its place. It's a little walkthrough before our final reveal. Make sure everything looked good. We were actually comparing flowers of what we were seeing and what Sarah was seeing because it didn't match up. And here, yeah, I'm not really doing anything. I'm just looking like I'm doing something. Did I mention we had fun doing this? I think this is when we realized, oh hey, we need an opening in here so we can actually walk into this picnic area. Again, I guess that's what the final walkthrough was for, right? To find the things that we weren't in love with, to tweak it. Tweak it until we loved it. And we did find a couple little things like this. Obviously, the archway and the walkway had to be there to go with the flow. But there's a couple things like this that the walkthrough, if we hadn't done it, we would have missed. And now it's my turn to supervise. while Sarah and Sunny experimented with water features in our lily pond. We went back and forth, and then we decided, you know what, let's just see what it looks like to see if we like it or not. And ultimately, we decided we liked it the first way without the water features, and we took them out. All right, y'all, are you ready for our big reveal? Okay, here we go. Baby steps. Are you ready? I'm so excited to present to y'all Balboa Park, built by Boozy, Serendipity, and SunnyAnn. So we're starting over by SunnyAnnsville, starting with the little cafe area. So this is somewhere you would come, sit, enjoy the lunch you brought, sit and chat with your new friends, next to this beautiful hedge garden that Sunny made. I am so impressed with this hedge garden. Sunny did it beautifully. I don't think I could have done anything like this. She just did an amazing job. Fountain centerpiece, this beautiful building in the back. And again, when you watch it on Sarah's build, you'll see that it isn't raised on the left-hand side like that. That was glitched on our side. But just look at all this beautiful greenery, all these beautiful flowers that she incorporates, and the archways to make that round feel when we don't have round things to build with. The little side area of the center. It was just amazing. Water features were put in between the hedges and the flowers, and it blended beautifully. And then this center lily pond. This is actually something that's very prominent in Balboa Park. This is where Sarah started, and this is where we built the whole build around. This was our centerpiece. And behind it is Sarah's build, which are the arches at Balboa Park. And how she used those bridges, genius. The bridges and the arches, just, again, I don't know that I would have thought of that. Just a little bit of bushes and the beautiful fountain, just the whole thing. That plaza is so beautiful with the benches and the greenery, and it's just enough. It's not overdone, in my opinion. I think it's perfect exactly the way it is. Nice and open, and exactly with the theme of Balboa Park. And then we head over to my build, and I was terrified. I don't know why. They obviously helped me. Starting with the picnic area to the left. The picnic area and the booth that has souvenirs. There's a food booth. There's a drink booth. These wonderful sitting areas, beautiful trees, and the side entrance to the museum. I did struggle with that. After all was said and done, I was glad I did less. I had thought about doing more, and then I stopped myself. Come around the front of the building, and I'll admit, I was pretty proud of myself, and thank you, Sarah. She got that front entrance looking like my dreams. She kept moving things around until I was like, yes, thank you. That is what I had envisioned. So thank you for that. I like how I move the trees. That makes my heart happy. The beautiful flowers, please. The way they have them, and I assume in the patterns, we'll see what they look like. And then the museum. The Natural History Museum with the fish, with the bugs, the fossils, the emeralds, the pearls, just everything you can find on the island, all the statues, and those glow buttons give it the most beautiful glow at night. I was so excited with how that turned out. Better than I could have ever imagined. How they're roped off like that, that was Sunny's idea, just gorgeous. And this area, I was really sweating it there at the end. I wasn't sure how we were going to pull that off. And as they were doing the flowers, I was doing the benches. It all came together. It all came together beautifully, as it does, with all the builds. And here we go. To the restrooms, to the parking lot. I mean, every last detail. Just look at those. The way she uses the different textures for the building, for the windows, and up top with the gates to tie it into the building next to it. I mean, these ladies are hardcore. They think about all of those details. I was just so impressed with everything they did, and I learned so much from them. And I mean, I can't say enough about these women. They are amazing, talented, just chef's kiss, and just really kind, loving people. But I guess that's what you find in Dinkum, right? We are kind, loving people. The community is amazing. But I was really, really thankful to be able to be part of this build. They didn't have to ask me to do this, so I'm very thankful for that. We just had the best time, and I made lifelong friends, which is, you know, you don't get to do that very often, you know, when you're out of high school, out of college, all that jazz. But oh my gosh, we had the best time. All right, we're gathering once again in front of the Natural History Museum. And again, I'll say it, I am impressed with myself. I'm giving myself a little pat on the back right now. I did not think it would turn out this well. And again, it wouldn't have if it was just me. It was a team effort, 100%. So, you know what? I just can't say enough about Sarah, about Sunny. And there goes Sunny. She's, you know, she does her own thing. I imagine in my head that she's off to the side, stripping down so she can just streak behind us. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know that she would do that in real life, but, did she just streak behind us? And they say I'm the one that's out of control. I don't think so. Oh my gosh, I really hadn't laughed so hard in a very long time. Thank you, ladies. I love ya. Oh, see you again soon.